Jones.
Anita Jones.
You'll never outwork me, I'ma outwork you. You say you got big dreams, time to show and prove. So you can make it off the elevator. That's right, like I made it off the elevator. You'll never outwork me, I'ma outwork you. You say you got big dreams, time to show and prove. So you can make it off the elevator. That's right, like I made it off the elevator.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Eat the Nugget Sundays. My name is Anita Jones and I am the CEO at Made It Off the Elevator LLC. Made It Off the Elevator LLC, for those who are tuning in for the very first time, is a personal and professional development company where we specialize in motivation and inspiration to inspire people around the world. That's right here, we motivate, penetrate hearts, and change lives. Today is episode 24. That's right, episode 24. And the topic is you snooze, you lose. But before I get into the content, I would like to address some of the questions that people have been asking me. People ask, okay, although you are motivating and inspiring people, what does Made It Off the Elevator means? What does that mean? Made It Off the Elevator is a metaphor that I use to explain my life and the way that I grew up and how I transitioned from Brooklyn to where I am now in my life. And so I grew up in the projects, Coney Island, 31st is the worst. And in that project building, the elevator is the heart of the building. And you have to ride up and down on that elevator. You know, I rode the elevator from the lobby to the 12th floor to get to the 12th floor from birth, you know, living in the projects. And so I made it off that elevator, you know, and not too many people do. And that's just the truth. I made it off the elevator. But to make this idea universal, I sat and I thought about it. I said, you know, there are people around the world that face adversity, you know, tons of adversity. And not everyone that deals with adversity ride on a project elevator. And so how can I make this idea applicable to people that do not ride project elevators yet still deal with adversities like not having their parents around to raise them? Such as myself. My parents wasn't around. My mom didn't raise me. My father didn't raise me. My great-grandmother did. Her children and their children and their children too. In a 4-bedroom apartment in Brooklyn. And so, how can I make this stick with others? And so, at a much deeper level, to define Made It Off the Elevator, it means to physically and or psychologically remove yourself from an environment that can possibly immobilize you from pursuing your desires, your aspirations, and your dreams. Okay? Let me repeat that one more time. Made It Off the Elevator means to physically and or psychologically remove yourself from an environment that can possibly immobilize you from pursuing your desires, your aspirations, and your dreams. In my case, because I love to tell vignettes are stories to inspire, right? So in my case, although I did not live in the projects anymore, mentally, my mind was still there, you know? And so I learned, okay, just because you remove yourself out the ghetto don't mean that the ghetto is not still in the girl. And so I had to develop, and I had to not only physically remove myself from the environment, in which it wasn't even my original plan. That's why I give so much grace to God. It was circumstances that led me out right? That pushed me out, circumstances such as being placed in foster care. That's how I ended up making it off the elevator. That was my initial starting point, right? But although I was physically not living there anymore, mentally I was. And so I learned, okay, now I need to work on that. And so the point is, you can remove yourself from an environment that can immobilize you, but you can still think the same way, and that can hinder you from moving forward, right? And so for those who ask that question, here's your answer. So let's get back to the topic. You snooze, you lose. What does that mean? Literally, okay? We set alarms. I do. I set my alarm. Although I rise early, I still set my alarm. And I usually set it between the hours of 4:30 a.m. and 6 a.m. depending on what my schedule is like. It varies. I don't wake up at 4:30 a.m. every single day, but I'm definitely up between 4:30 a.m. and 6 a.m. for sure. But I set the alarm, okay? I set the alarm for 5 a.m. for a reason. I set the alarm for 4:30 for a reason. Set it for 6 a.m. for a reason. You set your alarm for a reason. But for some odd explanation, it's very odd. It's an odd explanation. We snooze when the alarm go off. But you set the alarm. You set the alarm so that you can get up and you can handle your business, whatever that is. You know, whatever it is, maybe you wanted to prepare your clothes. You wanted to take more time to prep for a meeting. You wanted to work out, right? That was your initial plan. And then when the alarm goes off at 5 a.m., you snooze. You snooze. You snooze 10 more minutes, 15 more minutes, 30 more minutes, right? Well, now you don't have that time to prep. Or now you don't have that time to put 30 minutes in to work out. You lost that time. And so when you eventually wake up and get up out of the bed and shake it off and pursue the day, you find that you lost that time. And so let's practice not snoozing so that we can not lose, we can win. Because I heard this, I believe it was David Goggins that said this. Once you hit that alarm, your day is no longer going accordingly. Because you initially planned for the alarm to go off at a specific time, but you snoozed. So now you lose. You snooze, you lose. So keep that in mind. Get up when the alarm go off and do your thing. Don't make up excuses as to why you're not waking up to get this done or to pursue the day or to wake the children up more early. Whatever your circumstance is, I'm here to push you and tell you that when you snooze, you lose. I'm going to keep it short. That's my nugget for today. And people, let's wake up when the alarms go off. Or let's wake up when you naturally rise early and make it happen. Get it cracking for the day. Tell a friend and tell a friend about it. Send your cousin here, your mother, your sister, your brother. Those who need to hear the words that I utter so that they can grow and they can develop and we can be better human beings in this world. Like I mentioned earlier, tell a friend and tell a friend about it. I am so glad that you all joined me this Sunday, and I definitely will be back next week. Thank you all for tuning in.
You never outwork me, I'ma outwork you. You say you got big dreams, time to show and prove, so you can make it off the elevator. Like I made it off the elevator. You never outwork me, I'ma outwork you. You say you got big dreams, time to show and prove, so you can make it off the elevator. Like I made it off the elevator.